So I wanted to quickly do a short video follow up on the communication video that I did, and I realized there's something to that. Recently, my sister was telling me, and of course, I've also seen the ads. How we're supposed to register our lines afresh. You go to the M-Pesa or even the other lines agents or their shops, and you give your ID. They take a picture of you, and you also get to give your signature to them. Yeah, and I don't know, maybe because I'm older now, and I have those tools. I can now question some of these things, because the first time someone would say, okay, so the first time you got your lines, you did it and it was okay. But yeah, I got it under my mom, and I really didn't have any questions. I registered in, and then afterwards, and I had mine also, put the yeah put my own idea and all that there. But then now, when they, like, when you get kind of older and you see, kind of start seeing the world with all these things, especially me being in the digital side now, looking, because right now I'm really looking at things to do with digital rights and digital privacy. You kind of start questioning, like, I remember the first thing recently. I also put that two-step authentication thing, or is it authentication thing, on all my digital, say, my platforms and tools to do with Google and all that. And it's like that extra layer of security. So I kinda, and I also get to read terms and conditions these days. Yes, and I don't just leave my email or subscribe to whatever newsletters just randomly and anywhere. So I'm really, like, cautious about that now. And my sister telling me, oh, could you what? If you don't do this, no, when she was telling me I had not seen all the ads and whatever. If you don't do this, like, yako itafungwa nini? I'm like, huh? Like, why is it so coming to us like that? Then later on, I saw, like, they were doing the ads on YouTube and also on TV, and telling people to go and update their details, which is good. And we trust Safari, and most of us Kenyans, we trust Safaricom. We trust, like, we know what they're doing. So like, even it's not, you don't even get to question it, or like, oh, so what man, actually nitaenda kesho, niko na free time, ndo line yangu sifunga, like, because even I went to their Twitter page, and no one was asking why, like, why do you need all this? How, okay, so how is it going to help? Okay, maybe it's true, like, maybe it's even nothing. It doesn't even have to be like this big concern, but just to know the why, which is the same thing I was talking about in my communication video. Because right now it's just been put upon you, and iko na hizo memories of vile tulikuwa tunaambiwa huduma namba. Nakumbuka hiyo siku my dad just woke me up early in the morning and told me to go register quickly before it closes up, and see where we are with that with that whole thing. And it's still the same thing to do with the digital registration things online, all that. So there has to be a factor where you consider those kind of aspects. And so I also went to check the articles online about it from different people, and they were just saying the same thing. Make sure you just go and register, update your details. It's to make sure that your line is secure, and it's not illegally registered to anyone, or it's not used in fraud, which is true, which is perfect, like, security wise. Okay, but but I got that nagging feeling. Okay, why? Just to two adverts, make sure you go and update, but you don't know the reason why. And according to that article, I'll share it here. They said, it's a source from Safaricom who told them. Why? I don't know if I should be mentioning these brands, but it's a source from that telecom network who told them that the orders came from CAK, which is the Communications Authority of Kenya. And I don't know, during the weekend, like, people really don't know information about this. And how you see it coming back to bite people is when you don't have the details. Now they start speculating, and all these misconceptions start coming up. A group of people I was hearing, they were talking about, like, me, I'm not going to go and register because it also kind of doesn't have a definitive deadline. And they were like, me, I'm not going to do it. And there this conspiracy theorists that they were talking about and passing through. And that's how even though hizi vitu huwa zinaanza, and the mistrust, because in the first place you're not giving us all the details. Even for a mundane thing like this, we know it's security, and we know how lines have been hacked and been used, and phones and sim cards stolen, and money, we know all that. But I don't know, I feel like yeah, like now how do you make sure we trust you even after we give you those details and something might happen? Because I was reading an article in Argentina, they also have that system where the government has all their details. They have this kind of digital ID thing, and you'll see it here on the screen. And they got hacked. That's like for the whole country. That's yet just one telecom network for the whole country. Their database on their digital IDs got hacked. Argentina, I'll share the article here, and so many other examples. So anything can happen. And now when that starts happening, people start questioning. They go back to you like, oh, by the way, did you even tell us why we need this? You remember even with the Huduma number thing, and people started getting to see their registered in other political parties. They were like putting it back to the Huduma details. So and for this one, those like at least that particular group was saying how doesn't make sense and maybe this is a rumor and I shouldn't even share it here, but they were saying, especially with the year that we're in and with what is going to happen in August, that there's a correlation with that, which it's wrong. Well, it's baseless. To say maybe it's baseless facts, but such rumors and hindrances to like barriers to actually do the right thing, which is a good thing when you're talking about security, but such things wasn't a stopper to, and now causes a whole mountain of trust issues. Yeah, so I think give us the details. I am yet to go update my details. Well, because I don't know. Yeah, not yet, but yeah, maybe you can get the details. And some people may say, oh, it's hypocritical because hivi vitu ingine si umekuwa tu ukipatana details zako and all that. True, but then you have to start somewhere and you have to start now and you can't wait. And just because you do something wrong doesn't mean, if you do something bad, it doesn't mean that it's like everyone now is bad or you're inherently a bad person unless you do it repeatedly. But yeah, I think yeah, this is where you start to question, and this is where you start applying the things you actually learn in life, in the school of life, in uni, in high school, in technical universities, technical colleges and institutions. Is where you start applying it. And that's my question. How, why, and it may be a mundane answer, but just give us the why, you know, and how. Yeah, so that we actually, so we like in the process itself.